Hi, I'm Rashia.
I'm Maura, and this is the America by Air exhibition at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C.
Here, visitors can learn all about the history of airplane transportation and how it has affected people's lives.
Can you think of ways that airplanes affect the way you live your life? How did people and products or services, like the mail, travel long distances before airplanes?
Well, to get a better idea of how airplane transportation has affected our lives, let's take a good look at history transportation in the United States. If you look at a modern-day map of the United States of America, you can get a bird's-eye view of the air, road, rail, and water networks that crisscross America. This is called transportation infrastructure, and it allows the vehicles that travel along it to crisscross the country quickly and easily.
Of course, it did not always look this way. Before airplanes, cars, trains, and boats, travel was difficult.
Back in the early 1800s, there were very few roads, so the only practical way to move people and goods across long distances was in boats along America's natural waterways.
To take better advantage of these waterways, man-made connections between the waterways, called canals, were created. Canals made it easier to move people, food, mail, and other goods inland.
The next big transportation step was railroads, and they brought about the end of canal building. Railroads quickly spread across the country and served a growing number of cities. Railroads shortened the time it took to travel from coast to coast.
At first, railroads went only as far west as the Mississippi River, so in order to reach the west coast, people, mail, and other goods were transferred to stagecoaches. That cross-country trip took 24 days.
The first cross-country railroad in the United States was completed in 1869. This linked the railroad network of the East with the Pacific Coast. That connection really changed our transportation system. Railroad technology continued to improve, and soon people, mail, and other goods could travel coast to coast in just under 4 days.
The mass production of cars started a new era of movement, and cars soon became a main way that people got around. Between 1900 and 1950, the United States built millions of miles of roads. These roads connected cities and places all over our country.
Wait, Maura, what about airplanes? I know they were invented before 1950.
Right. Now that we have a better understanding of how transportation developed, let's take a look at another means of transportation, airplanes. It was back on December 17, 1903, when Orville and Wilbur Wright mastered the principles of flying. The world's first airplane flight may have only lasted seconds, but it signaled a revolution in transportation. Did you know that the first airline passengers were not people? They were actually letters and packages. Government mail contracts helped the airlines get started in business. The creation of an airmail route from New York to San Francisco shortened coast-to-coast mail time to about 29 hours.
With airmail service showing that airplanes could fly safely across the country on a regular basis, passenger service picked up throughout the 1930s. But air travel was very expensive, and only the wealthy could afford to fly.
Over time, airplane technology improved, and airplanes turned into more modern-looking airliners. Planes with jet engines really changed air transportation. You see, jets could fly at faster speeds, and faster flights meant more flights. That lowered ticket prices, and jet flight became very popular, just as it is today.
Advances in technology can change and sometimes create whole new transportation systems. These systems can shape our lives, alter our landscapes, and advance our culture.
For example, with each advance in airplane technology, the time needed to travel across America decreased. People who were not rich could afford to fly, and America felt a little smaller.
Now that everything's only a flight away, families today can easily spread out from coast to coast.
Mail can be delivered overnight from New York to California.
And we can enjoy goods shipped from all over the world.
We can get fresh lobsters from Maine.
And also get fruits in the winter from South America.
Let's write down other ways airplanes affect the way we live our lives. We can share our lists with our teacher and other classmates.
Good idea.